Good morning. This is Susan from the Payson Community Garden, and I want to talk a little bit about watering your garden and water conservation, because the water bill is the biggest bill that the garden has. And while we want you to have as much water as your plants need, we don't want to overwater, because overwatering will damage your plants too. So what I'd like to ask you to do is, there's water meters like this one up in the shed. One of the other gardeners has this kind. This one goes 1 to 4, with 1 being dry and 4 being wet. This one goes wet, moist, and dry. And the one thing I want you to think about is, look at my garden right here. There's no water going to this area at all. And so when you just barely put it in the ground, this one, I know you can't see it very well, but it's all the way over here on dry. It almost doesn't even register because it's so dry. But if I push it down to where the roots are, it's between 2 and 3, which is exactly where we want it. So we watered yesterday and we'll water again tomorrow. So even though my garden looks dry, it's not. This one, the same thing. If I just take it and put it in a little bit, it's dry. It's in the red area. But if I push it down, it's all the way over into the green, almost to blue, which is wet, which we don't want. So I don't need to water my garden even though it looks dry. The other way to test it is with this moisture core sampler. And what you do is you go in straight down, and then you pull it up. And what you see right now is the dry up here, and then you go a little bit deeper and it's moist. But when I get down to where the roots are, I have good moisture down there. So we don't need to water. So what I'd like to ask you to do is if you want to hand water, check your garden first. Go get the water meter, make sure you stick it in as far as I've got it in, so at least that far. You can put it in higher, and then read. If you're anywhere in the moist area, you don't need to water. And that will help our garden stay healthy, because if you overwater, we had a woman that already had tomatoes, and her tomatoes were split, and that's because she is watering every day very shallowly, and the tomatoes are getting not a regular watering time. So we want you to think about that, because your plants don't like to be overwatered. Thank you.